Welcome, A Train, all aboard. Tourism fans to A Train, all aboard. Tourism with Omnius Prime. Episode 9 Trains Galore. It's prime time for Professor Prime. Well, I didn't waste much time in starting to look to build some new train routes. Now I'm just basically starting to do new things. So basically, what I decided to do is start here with this West Carmel one, come over here to South Carmel one, do the Los Padres National in Palo Colorado Canyon, then turn around, do a new station here at West Turlock one. Just trying to connect up to different kind of lines and stuff, and then I came over here to Denair. Okay, so I could come down, come over to a new station here, West Turlock 2, and then out. So what I ended up with is creating 3 more trains. So I turned this into a 3 train route, and had decided there's a few more places I want to do things. I decided to go with the vehicle storage expansion. I don't. I'm at 73 trains now out of 80. Here's Rico telling us that the tourist things have been um, um, recalculated and accept that they are just basically the same as before. So I'm going to do another route over here in Monterey because I see a prime spot right here to stick a train station. So I'm going to kind of run around in this area and set up another train station. I think I'm going to do another little train line somewhere in here, uh, near Turlock. Do one over here in Bell, and then do maybe a bit bigger one here at the edge of Salinas. I've got plenty of room to add in some stations and stuff. So I'm going to now be exploring how to add a few new extra trains in, maybe get to 80 or 81 trains, and then I can start really working on the stations and stuff. So now, last time, here we go. I wasn't able to place these last 2 apartment 7s, but I did. When I was done, I noticed that a couple of buildings sold. So I went back and ran the clock slower, and then around 11:30, I was able to add the 2 apartment 7s, and I was able to complete this final one here in Bell, which was 2.3 billion. So on April 15th, I've got 18.3 billion in subsidies coming up. And then, of course, we'll have to see what new subsidies will come about. I'm still now. I don't know why my mouse is being there we go, a little tardy here. So my trade's looking pretty good. I'll have to. I'm trading fish in San Francisco. There's plenty of fish to trade in San Francisco, but I've only got the one material going overseas right now. Hopefully, Oakland and San Francisco will pick up some material sales. Okay, now I completed. Now, so here's my Carmel Sunset Center. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to sell it. It's going to take 220 employees. Um, and as you can see, I've got some apartment 4s now up for sale. I got there's a driving range, okay, and that will give me a hefty profit. There's the botanical garden, okay, and then I've got a bunch of hardware stores. Of course, as you can see, I just love the hardware store when I'm doing the commercial, getting the land value subsidy. So now on April 15th, like I said, I'll pick up 18 billion. I owe a whole bunch. So let's see. So I owe, what is it, 43.6. So I owe 43.6 for the benefits, for the taxes there, so that have to be paid by May 31st. So this will probably be my first and last build until I pay my taxes, build up some more money, and then I can do the Monterey extension. Um, I saw. I think I'm going to get like 1,300 new employees, so I'm going to have to figure out how do I keep my employees. Uh, the Sunset Center alone, the auditorium is 220 employees. So at least I know where I can put, I might not sell that auditorium and keep the 220 employees employed. Um, and I might even start thinking about doing that for department store twos and stuff because I'm going to have a lot of trouble trying to fill 1,300 new jobs with the trains that I plan on building, which won't be many. So I am going to be back later on when I start paying my taxes and stuff. There we go. Uh, so I have some stuff going on about May 20th. I'll have to do my seasonal tour. Now, one thing that I didn't do was, now I'm doing the TB commercial. One thing that I didn't, oh, look at that. There's my employees, 3633. Whoo, doggone. So I picked up about, 1,300 employees. Okay. And I might have jobs for, I'll find out in about 7 days. I have jobs for like about 2,300, maybe 2,400. So, this is going to be challenging now to deal with the head count. So I'll be back after a while after I get some things going and do the paying the taxes, and we'll see where we at. Midnight on May 31st, and of course it's time to pay taxes. But I also have a new train route. So now through Monterey, I've got North Monterey 1, then going around to Monterey 1 over here, North Monterey 2 over here, then it comes back down through Sloat's Landing, Monterey Dunes, and there's the third segment. East Monterey does kind of funky above the road and tracks bridge, and then kind of a big turn into Monterey Landing before it heads out the way there. And there, it's so I did another 3 trains. So I'm up to 76 trains now. Right there. And how many stations do I have? Now I'm up to 139 stations. And before I do anything, let's go ahead trade. I managed to be trading everything. Oh, looks like the San Francisco route is just about out. Oh, yeah, it is out, I guess. So what I'm going to need to do is Looks like I've got some more San Francisco fishies that I can sell. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue that route right here. Glad I checked that before running clock, okay? Always having to bird dog the trade. My subsidiaries, I still have 14 left. I started the year with 23, although a lot of them weren't built yet. Um, Now, the Monterey and Carmel Whale Tours are not going on sale. I'm keeping those. Um, this won't be ready until October, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be keeping that as well. That's 220 employees. Um, and speaking of which, now let's take a look. Ooh, yeah. So, supplement staff. I need 2905. I have 3991. So I have over 1,000 extra employees still that I've got to find jobs for. Now, here's an interesting concept. I have the public offering, and woo, now it's up to like 68 billion procured on 44,000 shares sold. Now, when is a good time to do the public offering? Well, I don't believe in doing the public offering like, say, April 1st when this was originally offered. Um, and I could have gotten 59 billion. But if I were to do this on April 1st, I would say get the money on May 1st, and on July 1st, I have to pay dividends on those shares that I just sold. I would rather wait until I increase share price. Up, and there we go. Now, Reiko is telling us that the tourist destinations 3 and 2 are basically kind of competing with one another. You can see that 2 actually has more visitors than 3 does. Okay, and number 2 is usually kind of by now the best one. But it's kind of bouncing back and forth, which is kind of funny. Now, when I had that ski resort, it would have had the ski resort in the top 4 instead of like the Monument 3. So that's why I had to get rid of the ski resort, which was just too overpowered. So let's come back here. And the other thing I wanted to show was on the TV commercial. You can see I've got a bronze star now for the 4th star. So the TV commercial that I ran, it did have some effect. It got the star up to being a bronze. I'll just keep running TV commercials until I get to 5 gold stars. So where did oh, I get lost so easily. There we go. So let's take a quick look. At this running. Now I owe about 43 billion in taxes, so I've got about 14 billion left right now. So I'll have to wait a while to build my next rail, and I think I'm going to build that in maybe Seaside. So as you can see, it goes through here to Monterey Dunes, and now it's going to pop back. And there it's paid the 43,640,000 in taxes. Makato's all happy that we're paying the taxes, and we got money left. And he's not crying that we're running out of money. So now these routes here, I'm not worried so much about making money as I am development now. And what I've been trying to do is, as you can see, um, use some of these new lines to tie into old lines and stuff, as you can see. So right now, this is all about developing in new areas, and I think that'll do a really good job over time. And then I can start developing, building buildings and stuff like that. I'm definitely, I was kind of thinking that instead of trains galore for the segment title, the episode title, I should have gone with employees galore because wow, have I got employees up the yin yang. So I'm not. I think I'll be back again on July 1st to play the dividend game, and perhaps I'll have a new line by then. It's July 1, 8:50 in the morning, and it's time to play the dividend game. So let's get on with it. Okay, so now I have dividend of 30 yen per share. My dividend yield is only 1.7. If I go to 35 Japanese yen per share, I now get a dividend yield of 2%. It's going to cost me 7.4 billion. So I'm going to go with that. Now, as tempting as it is to do the public offering and pick up about 72 billion, what it'll do is it'll just keep increasing the price of my dividends each year, and the dividends are just cash out. It just costs you cash. Doesn't give you an expense benefit, so it doesn't reduce taxes and stuff. So now, after I've made those two additions to my rail lines, I'm now at 549 kilometers of railroad, so I picked up about 37 so far in the two that I'm doing. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just keep running clock and get to a point where I think I can build another segment of railroad, probably in Seaside, maybe Salinas. Here it is, August 12th, midnight of course, and we're looking at a new train. Actually, what I ended up doing was creating two new train routes. On July 4th, I finally decided to heck with it. I'm just going to go for the public offering, pick up 72 billion, and I'm glad that I did because a month later, yeah, I spent that 72 billion really quickly. So I picked up another 7 trains. So I have a new Seaside route and a new Salinas route. And the Salinas route kind of runs through Delray Oaks, Ryan Ranch. There's the new train there. And it'll go underground and then come back up and run through Seaside Flats. And then I built some new stations here along the bottom edge of the industrial area and ran it off the map. So that was the Seaside route. Now Salinas, just starting off the map over in Oakland, running it up to Salinas Old Town, and then now it's coming down into a second ramp for Soledad, coming around here to East Salinas 1, then East Salinas 2, up to Salinas Rodeo, and then from Salinas Rodeo, East Salinas 3, East Salinas 4. Oh yeah, and then oh yeah, it's going all the way over here to South Salinas 1 before it hits Alisal, And then from Alisal goes South Salinas 2, South Salinas 3, and Hollister. So what I've been trying to do is just kind of place stations around the map, give it a little bit more coverage. And one thing that we have a saying in Salinas, that as Salinas grows, our farmland goes. And so as you can see, as Salinas is building up, the farmland is starting to disappear. Lots of little houses and stuff. But so now I have 83 trains. I have 152 stations. And 593 kilometers of track. Just over 80 kilometers more than I had when I started the fiscal year. So now, I decided I would just do these two because I wasn't sure how far the money would go, especially now when construction costs are way high because I'm sometimes, running through built-up areas, and so they're going to cost a lot more. So it looks like I might have two more routes left. One that might go like somewhere in here and then run across here, over here, and then over to, where is it, the Downey area. And that would be like a bell route. And then another kind of maybe Turlock route somewhere down here on the bottom edge. And run it around and stuff. So I think I'm going to work the bell route next. And then see what I have left for the Turlock area. So yeah, when I'm doing the beta testing, I never built like all this peripheral track and stuff. But now that I'm doing, playing for real and stuff, yeah, I want to kind of build things out and stuff. That was the whole idea of this map, was to, and making the scenario, was to have a nice big map to build on. Here it is, August 30th, midnight. I completed two more rail lines. One here in Bell that's leading off from Oakland. Come through East Bell here, then City of Industry, and it'll come up and go around this northern part here, a couple of stations. Then it's going to come back down through these stations right here before going off the map down to Long Beach. Then the other train that I built, which I just built, is right here. And it's going to run from Los Gatos through Turlock here. Down in, it connects up to Modesto A. So I trying to, keep connecting it to these new routes to old routes a little bit. Then we'll come down here to South Turlock 2. I'm going to rename that to Manteca A to be consistent with some of the other ones that I did, like right there, Turlock and Turlock A. And you can see how it comes up and then comes back down around East Turlock 2, then East Turlock 1, and off the map. So I now have, oh yeah, let's just come down here to the company information. So I now have 89 trains, 167 stations, and 637.5 kilometers of track. So I've definitely been busy laying some track, about 125 kilometers. Got 10,641 plots of land. Take a look at the balance sheet. We can see now I've got 451 billion in land. Okay. 69 billion in research development expenses will be gone in like 3 years. My debt to equity ratio, I've got about 320 to 472. So, not quite 3 to 5. So that's still good. I've got more equity than debt. So it's just wow. I spent quite a lot. I borrowed an extra 80 billion. I picked up the 70 billion on the public offering, and then I still had to borrow 20. So I'll be paying that loan off very quickly. That'll be the first thing that I want to pay off. Let's just take a look at my employee count. I'm now up to 3,201 of 3,991, so I still have 790 employees kind of not doing enough. So now I guess what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the year is is pay off the loan, and then I still have to do another TV commercial. I want to try to get that up to the 4-star, up to a gold one. Then I've got to do the bonuses. Oof, that's like 7.6 billion, and that's going to be wow, over 10 billion, 11, almost 12 billion just for employees because I have so many. So I definitely am going to be running some clock and getting some bills paid off and stuff. And then I can start looking at perhaps some more build and flip. I still have, 8 subsidiaries left. Some that I'm not selling. I'm hoping to get rid of the botanical garden. And then start building some more stuff. Try to take advantage of some of the government subsidies. My trade, right now I'm trading everywhere, which is good. So that helps me build up my money. Here it is, March 31st of year 5. And I thought I'd take a little break right now. And let's take a look at the map and see what's going on. Now that we've kind of gotten a lot of things rolling here, I'm not running clock right now because I want to wait and see about getting a little train ride in. So now if I come back here and always trying to get the things lined up nice here. So let's back up here to Seaside. So I kind of figured, let's just take a look at the map and see how it's progressing along. And as you can see, things are filling in all over the place, which is really kind of cool. And here you can see the bridge. Kind of my take on the Golden Gate Bridge, of course, San Francisco. Now let me see, line up here with a road here. And yeah, it really looks pretty cool. And there was so much empty space here before. And now you can see how things are just filling out all over the place. Now, here I noticed a boo-boo. The Salinas River kind of stops here and stops there. When I was turning the brown unused land to green, just to green things up, I inadvertently wiped out a portion of the Salinas River, which was supposed to run, of course, from here down through here, through here and on out to the ocean. Now, 2 fun facts about the real Salinas River. It is one of only two rivers on the North American continent that flows from south to north. South to north, which is how I modeled it in my my scenario here. And of course, I kind of screwed up when I was quickly greening up the land, and I greened up the river and inadvertently. Oops. And of course, now years later, I'm kind of as I'm playing, I'm going, oh man, because I went back to and looked at my scenario design file, and yep, sure enough, it had bit the dust. Nope. Okay, let's see. There, manual dexterity is not one of my strong suits. So let's run down this road here. So now we're going through Salinas, and then there's Fort Ord, crossing over the main lines there, Fort Ord Central. And now this is kind of like, right on the border of Monterey and Carmel. The golf course managed to survive, although the golf course addition didn't. So it looks like the program decided it would build something else. Let's see, about right there. And there's that nice big um, radio station. If you'd ever seen the movie See Misty with me, KRML. That was, I think, the jazz station that Clint Eastwood played in Play Misty for Me. And let's come down here. You can see a lot of this land was all just nothing, absolutely nothing, just green. And as you can see, it's really picking up the pace here on development. And there's the race course. And as you can see here, this used to just be nothing, and now it's slowly but surely filling in with stuff. So development has been going on pretty well for the first 5 years. And let's just come down and look at this area right here. And this is, of course, Bell coming into this Bell area. And then we come over here to Turlock. And the infamous Desolation Wilderness. I mean, it was really sad that the ski resort was overpowered, because it really looked cool, and it would have been nice to have had a nice ski resort here to just, have the visual. But it was just too overpowered, and it would become one of the top 4, and I decided, no, I don't want that one bit. So what have I been doing? So I think the last segment was around August, the end of August, August 30th or something. So I spent a bunch of months, was it about 3, 6, November, December, 7 months just building up money. 6 months. And then at the beginning of March, I decided to play March Madness. So I have been keeping up with my resource trades, okay? And boy, they have been fickle. But what I decided to do was go crazy with the building stuff, okay? And as you can see, I haven't put anything on for sale right now. And on April 1st, I will put everything back on sale except the top 3 items here. Carmel Sunset Center, 220 employees. I said, nah, I think I'm going to keep hold of it. Of course, I want to get rid of these botanical gardens that are kind of like dogging it right there. And I've got the mid-rise building 6 is now kind of like one of my new favorite buildings. Um, and what I've been doing is kind of like filling in these areas where I had left things open. Now, I still have one little space open right there, and that's about 15,000 previous day users. So what I have been doing, and I will get around to this, is you can see here Carmel Rancho is I am increasing the station to the bigger, the station building 1. Okay. Costs more to operate, but they'll get a lot more money out of the deal. And that's one of the things when I did this early on, is what kept Memorial, this Fort Ord Memorial, the Monument 3, so high up on the tourist list. Okay, now it's showing as number 2. When I put the airport in, that's when things started to change between Stadium 2 and Monument 3. Okay, uh, I learned during beta testing that if I didn't build this nice big station building 1 here before the airport was completed, it could drop down to number 4. And during my early beta tests, when I had the ski resort functional, um, yeah, it would just kind of overpower the Monument 3, and all of a sudden it would become one of the top 4 and drag tourists down to the bottom here for like 5 weeks, and then for 47 weeks it was worthless. But it would still show up as being one of the top ones. You can see here Fort Ord Central. I've also been upgrading it. There's an apartment 4 going in here. Uh, I built a little gift shop here because basically, can't build anything like an apartment 4 because it needs to go down a block, okay, go down a level. Whereas the gift shop 2 doesn't need to go down a level, so the um, underground road will be okay to build and stay there. So I decided to go through March Madness. Of course, what I decided to do was play with the government subsidies. I've got 12.7 billion coming on April 15th. Okay, you can see I've got a lot of little places filled up. There's a couple of places that are empty. So it's now going to be to see what I can do with subsidies that will come up. But right now, I think I basically have kind of filled out the map as far as rail goes. I've got 637.5 kilometers of rail, 89 trains, and what was that, 167 stations. So I really focused on building, out on my rail. Now I'm focusing on building up the stations. Now, let's talk about employees. Okay, I've got 3,912 right now. I lost about 79. So remember when I was, I had like 3,991 in employees, and I had about 2,800 or 2,900 in staff required. Well, now I'm about 870 behind. Not about to supplement staff this time around. And what I did was I focused on jacking up my staff right before the required, right before the year end, so that the company will basically hire a bunch of new staff automatically. Last year, 1,300. And then I added to the fuel to the fire by adding another 350. So as you can see, man, I've been just going through here and um, putting in stuff. All of a sudden, I like these department store twos in places that have some decent population and stuff. So now what I'm doing is I'm starting to focus on developing subsidiaries. So and focus on subsidies. Now that I've got the rail laid, now I can really start the development process and have a little bit of fun, really fleshing out the map and stuff. So let's see. Oh yeah. Now I already borrowed some money. So now let's see. Let's look at Makoto. He's all happy. Okay, so I paid almost 27 billion in interest this year, saved over 10 billion on taxes. So I'm going to owe 43.6 billion on corporate and other taxes. I'll probably owe about another 6 billion or so on property taxes. So I'm probably going to owe close to 50 billion in taxes. I've got 28, and I've got to raise a whole bunch of money up by May 31st. And so what I did is I saved up for like over 6 months from end of August through beginning of March. March 1, I started playing the March Madness game around 11 o'clock in the morning every day, stopping, running clock really slow, waiting to hear the ding, 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 the buildings were finished, and then going ahead and jumping on it and buying them. So now what I've done is I paid off my $300 billion loan and decided to take out a 400 billion Japanese yen loan, 7.5% interest. Now, the economic forecast for this year is economic slump, which is a step above recession. So now the economy is starting to improve again. You know, like on the expert level, yeah, you're usually going to have a few years of recession and stuff early on to battle through. But the nice thing is that when the economy is in a slump or in a recession, the borrowing costs are nice and cheap. So let's see. The securities. I did add the destructive industries, but I did that long ago early on. But otherwise, let's just take a look. I've got a whole bunch of stocks now. And I think that's about all I can do. The one that I really wanted to get, this one here. Oh, shareholder benefits, 1 million shares or more. Ooh. Ooh. I hadn't seen this. Oh, wow. Purchase limit, 1 million shares. It had been like around 110 million shares. So I could now buy 1 million shares for 1 billion, no problem. Nice, easy. Gained a shareholder benefit. So now, what was the shareholder benefit I wanted? 5% increase in the number of visiting tourists. So for years, that doggone thing had shown that I needed 1.1 million shares to get the shareholder benefits. And of course, what would happen is that it would limit me to 1 million shares that I could purchase. So I could purchase 1 million shares, but I couldn't have the shareholder benefit. And just now, I picked up the shareholder benefit. So that's awesome. I kind of was wondering if that would ever happen. Because normally it would go from 1 million to 1.1 million when they did in some of the other scenarios that I played. So what I need to do is we want to take a little train ride. So I need to come to Spreckles, and I'm going to grab hold of the Spreckles Northridge line. And let's take a quick little run up here. And then what I'm going to do is enter the train once it gets here. Okay, now I can enter the train, and now we can go forward. And what I learned is that if I'm going to raise it up a little bit, and now this will give me a little bit of an elevated ground level view as the train travels. And this is kind of like the sunset. Okay, there we go. So this was cool. So now instead of being down on the ground, you know, we're up kind of around building level and can actually see some things. At dusk, we're just starting to see the city lights turning on. And as you can see, we've got some other trains here. There's one disappearing around a corner. And yeah, slowly but surely this is fleshing out nice. And now you can see the other trains are, you know, heading north to south. All the trains head from north to south. That way, being consistent, everything works out really nice. So now you can see there's a station there that's being remodeled. And yeah, all the stations will end up getting remodeled. Some of the lower capacity stations will go up to like a ground station number 8, which is kind of like the fanciest one of the ground stations, the smaller ones. And all the busy ones will get the station building 1, like here in Salinas. And as you can see, our track's going to turn off to the right while these others continue on. So yeah, it's kind of fun now that I can actually play this scenario that I created. I spent a lot of time creating the scenario, and so now it's really, you know, nice to have some fun playing it. And here we are at Spreckles, and we got that done. So let's come back here. There we go. Now the picture's bigger. Okay, and let's just let clock run to get through to the end of the year. Looks like the tourists have disappeared. And of course, Makoto's super happy. And so yeah, net sales 500 billion. So that's really nice. Let's see. So that's 285 is railroad sales, 112. So about 170 something in 170 billion in railroad profits. And the resource related, we got about 33. Oops. Okay. So congratulations. We have been in a surplus for 5 consecutive years. And now all we have to do is go another 5 years, and then we will have everything squared away. So obviously, what I'm going to be doing is, first of all, putting my subsidiaries up for sale, now that I've hit the new fiscal year, because I've got to raise some money. Now, if I have to borrow a little bit of money to pay my taxes, I'll borrow a little money to pay my taxes. But I'm just waiting for all this stuff, waiting for the trains to, the stations to really level up and stuff. And it's great watching all of this activity going on here in the center. So 57.8 billion in unpaid taxes is what I'm going to have to pay up. So I hope that you've been enjoying this series. I probably will be doing a couple of years in the next video, maybe 2 or 2.5. Now that I basically have got the grunt work done of building up the train lines and stuff, now it's just going to be basically build and flip, building up subsidiaries and taking advantage of subsidies.